Free gear removal is bad for Raid Shadow Legends. It's my hot take, but I believe it to be true. What is up, Raiders of Teleria? My name is Charlie. This is New Raiders Only, and if this is your first time joining the channel, I do budget, new player, friendly videos, and if that sounds like something you might be interested in, consider liking this video. After you've given it an opportunity, please hear me out. Just hear me out. If you are interested in learning more about that type of stuff, then at the end, consider subscribing, right? Let's get rid of this. So, the ability to remove artifacts from a champion without paying for it. So this is a little tedious. You go in and you have to remove via currency. And I think this is a very important part of the game. Silver as a currency isn't necessarily hard to get. There's a ton of guides on the best ways to get currency for your free Uugo. And by the way, I've got an excellent opportunity. Linked in the description box down below is a new player only URL. If you sign up for Raid Shadow Legends, downloading the game using my new player link or the QR code that's over there in the far right corner, you're going to get the incredibly overpowered epic support champion Uugo with the Maelstrom Rack skill that just makes real short work of a lot of the activities. You're going to get her for absolutely nothing once you complete the tutorial. 15 levels, 13 levels later, you're going to get Tagoar, an absolutely ridiculous orc. And then a little after that, you're going to get Grizzled Jarl, and then finally Chonoru at level 50. And it's not a promo code, which means on day one, you can use one of the many fabulous promo codes to get a legendary champion added to your stable right out of the gate. In week one, you could have 5 insanely powerful champions. I chose the Supreme Gallic because he's a legendary void affinity attack champion. Pairs really well with my Tagoar, and of course for the crypt fights and all of that. But anyway, back to the video discussing artifacts. So, are these artifacts the best for my Tagoar lifesteal? Well, let's say hypothetically that they are, but only for Classic Arena. They're not that good for fighting in the dungeon. What if I am interested in going and fighting the Chimera or the Demon Lord, and there are artifacts that are better for my Tagoar for those specific kind of instances? Well, Raid Shadow Legends isn't designed to be played all day long. Yes, you can play Raid Shadow Legends all day long. You can spend as much time as you want thinking about min-maxing your champions, your defense, your attackers, your supports, all of that. And I think part of the strategy of playing this game is in the finite currencies that you have, the decisions that you have to make notwithstanding. I think that that adds another level of the not having to pay for the artifact removal. I think it adds another level of minutia that the average player has to deal with, wherein 98%, and that's a completely arbitrary number that I'm just throwing out there, in 98% of the instances, having the lifesteal set, and again, hypothetically the best set for my Tagoar, instead of the lifesteal set, it might be better to have like a speed set, right? And I'm not trying to argue the nuances of stats between lifesteal and speed, critical hit rate, the frost sets, the divine speed. I'm not trying to argue about the nuances of the individual pieces. I think that if you remove the ability, remove the cost to remove artifacts. That was way too wordy. Sorry about that. I think if you take that away, and sure, occasionally it's good. I think if you take that away, people will start spending way too much time micromanaging things beyond the level of what we're at now. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think that they have the ability to set artifacts for activities coming soon, or if that's not already available for some of the things, some of the activities already. I could be wrong. I'm not really sure. Haven't really dug into that too much, to be perfectly honest with you. I would like to think that the setting things specifically for different activities and having saved sets and having to do it one time, I think that is the quality of life improvement that many players are looking for. And there's a lot of people that don't really feel this way. They just want to save the silver because silver, like I said, it becomes one of these resources that you have to manage just like all of the others. But in my opinion, guys, I think it's bad for the health of the game. I think that you know, while the developers want us to spend as long as possible playing the game, there's so many activities, so many functions in the game built in, like the like going into the Dragon's Lair or any of them and doing the multi battles, just setting it up and walking away for an hour or going to lunch, or, you know, while we're doing our day job or whatever. I think there's enough of those in the game that infer, or at least in my mind infers, that we're not supposed to be actively playing the game for hours in a given day. Generally speaking, you can knock out all of your tasks in a day, unless you're a pay-to-win whale or a pay-to-play kind of budget player that spends a little bit of money. I think you can knock out most of your tasks in a given day in, you know, an hour, maybe 2 hours at absolute most, depending on, you know, what activities are active. You know, given, you know, the claim bosses, the Doom Tower, the Cursed City, you know, there are some, the different factions, you know, the different clan stuff. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to do, but yeah, you know, setting stuff and kind of walking away. Once you get to a point, once you get the right champions unlocked and leveled up, you know, I think it just becomes unnecessary minutia to micromanage the artifacts. You know, figure out what sets work the best. Take a look at some guides, my channel, blogs, you know, whatever, to find out the best sets for a given champion, and then stick with them and not overthink it. That's what I think. Just don't overthink it. So again, if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing. Turn on notifications to never miss a video. And if you're thinking about starting Raid Shadow Legends or coming back to Raid Shadow Legends and wanting to start with a fresh account, check out my new player URL in the description, pinned comment, and the QR code over on the right corner. Yeah, I love you all. Good luck in Teleria.